Hi, my name is CeCe Grant. I am a researcher and assistant to Bill Snyder at Third Way, and I am a 2007 Michigan CPL Fellow. Third Way is a progressive think tank. We work a lot with moderate members of Congress to help them pass progressive ideas in their more conservative districts. So what we do is we work with these moderate members of Congress to say, how can you talk to your conservative members about LGBT issues so that they will understand why we support LGBT issues and why we feel that it's a moral right for people to have the right to marry and the right to love whoever they want to love. How to frame these words so that it's palatable, so that people understand. Another big thing we do is we do work with them on messaging regarding the abortion issue. So what we do is we take these hot button political issues that the Democrats seem to have a problem communicating with Middle America, and we teach them how to speak about it in terms and values that Middle America understand. 2007, 1 month after I graduated from CPL, I moved to Washington, D.C., and I began working on national campaigns. The first campaign that I worked on was actually the protest to get us out of the war in Iraq, which was pretty huge. We also worked on to pass the Children's Health Insurance Program, CHIP, and we also worked to pass the budget, Obama's budget priorities and the economic stimulus bill. When you put policy together, it's really hard for people outside of Washington, D.C., average people, to understand how that policy is going to affect them. So my job as a press secretary was to take big ideas and make it so that the average person can understand it. And so what we really wanted to focus on is, how is this going to help average person on Main Street, average person in small town or big city America. I grew up being so passionate about progressive politics, but understanding that only maybe 35 to 40% of Americans consider themselves liberal or progressive. And there is a real fight for the middle. And unfortunately, before this time, it seems like Republicans have been winning that fight for the middle. The progressive community has woken up and realized that we have a message and we have values that we need to fight to put forth our issues and not concede the middle to the right-wing talking machine. And so being a part of that, of changing the conversation and reclaiming our values and standing up for fairness and integrity and for the working man and for the little people. It's so important, because if we don't stand up and say, hey, America, this is who's important and these are values also. You know, there's an old saying that the only thing necessary for evil to flourish is for good men to do nothing. And so we cannot continue to do nothing and allow our country to be taken over by far out there ideology. What I want to do as a progressive communicator is not just to talk to the base, but also influence the middle. A lot of people don't understand that political communications is a game of influence. And how can you influence people to come to your side or to view favorably your issues or your positions if you don't go after that community?
Right. Thank you.
CPL basically took this person who was completely green, that knew absolutely nothing about politics, and exposed me to some of the most prominent people in local politics. So Dave and Frank and Christina mentored me. They brought me to events. They invited me to meetings, and through the 9-month training, it's an experience. I experience politics, and I experience community development, and I experience people building political power. And it wasn't a one thing that made me an activist, it was the exposure over the 9-month program that I felt gave me the foundation to come here to DC and implement what I've learned in Michigan on a wider basis.